Hello children, today we are going to begin Act 2, Scene 2. This scene opens on another part of the island. Enter Caliban with a burden of wood, a noise of thunder heard. So we can see Caliban enters with a load of wood, a noise of thunder is heard. Caliban, all the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats on Prospero fall and make him by inch meal a disease. Bogs and fens are marshes. So he says here, I hope all the diseases that breed in swamps and marshes infect Prospero. Infect Prospero inch by inch until he is nothing but a walking disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. His spirits are listening to me, but I can't help cursing him anyway. But they'll nor pinch, fright me with urchin shows. Now, what are urchin shows? Appearance of goblins shaped as hedgehogs. So he says they won't pinch me and frighten me by assuming various shapes of evil spirits. Pitch me in the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid them. Who is he here? Prospero. He says they will not. Who are they here? Prospero's spirits. So he says they will not throw me into the muddy pools, nor lead me astray in the dark as a firebrand would, unless Prospero commands them. But for every trifle are they set upon me. But yet for every little thing they are set upon me. For every little thing his spirits are set upon me. Sometimes like apes that moo means make faces, and chatter at me and after bite me. Sometimes the spirits are in the shape of monkeys that chatter at me and afterwards bite me. Then like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot way and mount their pricks at my footfall. What are hedgehogs? They are small creatures which can roll themselves into the shape of a ball when they apprehend danger. So he says here, as I walk barefoot, like rolling hedgehogs on my path, they prick me with their spines when they hear my footsteps. Sometime am I all wound with adders. Adders are snakes, who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. He says, sometimes snakes wrap around me, hissing at me with their forked tongues, till I go crazy. Now he sees Trinculo entering, and he says, lo, here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. Hey, look over there. He says, here comes one of his spirits to torture me for taking so long to bring the wood back. I'll fall flat. Perchance he will not mind me. And he lies down. He says, I will lie down and hide. Maybe he won't see me. So he lies down here and covers himself with his cloak. Enter Trinculo. Trinculo hears neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. He says there are no bushes or shrubs to protect me from the weather here. And another storm brewing. And there is another storm brewing. Brewing means ready to burst. I hear it sing in the wind. I can hear it in the way the wind whistles. If it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. He says, I can hear it in the way the wind whistles, and if it starts again the same way, if it starts again the same way, I do not know where to hide myself. Yond same cloud, yond huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. Now, what is bombard? Bombard is a vessel holding liquor. He says that huge black cloud over there looks like a filthy liquor vessel that's about to pour out its contents, whatever is in the vessel. If it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. He says it won't be able to help pouring rain down by bucketful. And then he sees Caliban. He says, what have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? What do we have here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish. He says it's a fish because he stinks like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell, a kind of not of the newest poor John. What is poor John? A kind of saltwater fish. He says an old salted fish, not a fresh caught one. A strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there but would give a piece of silver. A strange fish, and if I were in England now, like I was once, and I had even a painted picture of this fish, even the fools there would give me a piece of silver to look at it, to look at the picture. There would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. In England, this strange monster would be just like a man. Any strange beast there can be considered a man. When they will not give a doit to relieve a lame beggar, they will lazy out 10 to see a dead lion. The men there won't give a penny to a lame beggar, but they will pay 10 cents to have a look at a dead Indian. Red Indian means they will readily pay there at a freak show exhibit. Legged like a man and his fins like arms. This guy has legs like a man, but fins for arms. Warm on my trot. Warm on my trot means I swear by my faith. I do now let loose my opinion, hold it no longer. I must change my earlier opinion now, because this is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered by a thunderbolt. This is not a fish. I swear by my faith, I must change my earlier opinion, and this is not a fish, but a native who got struck by lightning just now. Thunder. Alas, the storm is come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. Gabardine is cloak. So he says, oh, here comes the storm again. And the best thing to do is crawl under his cloak. There is no other shelter hereabout. There is no other shelter around here. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. Misery, he says, in emergencies you meet the strangest folks. I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past. I will just stay here till the storm passes. He crawls under Caliban's cloak. He creeps under Caliban's garment. Now enter Stephanos singing, a bottle in his hand. Stephanos sings, I shall no more to see. Here shall I die ashore. He says, I will never go to sea again. I will die here on shore. This is a very scurvy tune. Scurvy tune means a hateful song. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. He says this is a very rotten song, a very hateful song to sing at a man's funeral. At least I have got some booze to comfort me. And he drinks and sings. He continues his song. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Moll, Meg, Marian, and Marguerite. He says, the master, the deck washer, the boatswain, and I, the gunman, and his friend, we all loved Moll, Meg, Marian, and Marguerite. But none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with a tang. But none of us cared for Kate, because Kate had a very sharp and a very shrill tongue. Would cry to a sailor, go hang, and would shout to sailors, go hang, go to hell. She loved not the savour of tar nor of pitch. She didn't like the smell of tar or pitch. Then to see boys and let her go hang. So let us go to sea, sailors, and let her be cursed. This is a scurvy tune too, but here's my comfort. That's a rotten song too, but here's something to comfort me. And what was that? His bottle, his wine, and he drinks again. Caliban, do not torment me. He says, don't hurt me. Oh, Stephano, what's the matter? Have we devils here? What's going on? Do we have devils on this island? Do you trick upon us with savages and men of Ind, huh? He says, are you playing tricks on me by showing me savages and uncivilized men from the Indies, huh? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs. He says, I didn't survive a shipwreck, so I could be scared of your 4 legs now. For it had been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground. And it shall be said so again, while Stephano breathes at his nostrils. He says, because it is said that as handsome a man as ever went on crutches cannot make him yield. Means, he says, he wants to say, I will never run away from any ordinary man who walks on 4 legs like the rest of us. And Stephano speaks nonsense. Why? Only because he is drunk. Caliban, the spirit torments me. Oh, the spirit is torturing me. Oh, Stephano, this is some monster of the isle with 4 legs who hath got, as I take it, an egg. Egg is fever. He says this is some monster of this island with 4 legs who seems to me to have some kind of fever. Where the devil should he learn our language? How does he know our language? I will give him some relief if it be but for that. I will help out if only because he speaks the same language. If I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, if I can cure him from his fever and tame him and get him back to Naples, he is a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat's leather. He would make a great present for any emperor. Trod on neat's leather means who wore shoes. Caliban, do not torment me. Don't hurt me, please. Please do not torture me. Prithee, I will bring my wood home faster. I promise I'll carry the wood faster. Stephano, he is in his fit now and does not talk after the wisest. He says he is having a fit and only because of that fit he is talking Nonsense. He shall taste of my bottle if he have never drunk wine before, never drunk wine afore, will go near to remove his fit. I will give him some liquor if he has never drunk it before. It will help him soothe his fever. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He says, if I can tame him, I'll charge as much as I can get for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly. He will bring a lot of money to the person who owns him. That is for sure. Caliban, thou dost me yet but little hurt. He says, you haven't hurt me much yet. Thou will Aenon, but you will do it soon. I know it by trembling. Now prosper works upon thee. He says, I can tell by the way you are trembling, and I am sure Prospero has sent you here. Stephano trying to make Caliban drink, and he says, come on your ways, open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. He says, come on, open your mouth. This will help you talk. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking. I can tell you, and that soundly. Open up. This will stop you from trembling and relieve your ache. I can tell you that for sure. Gives Caliban drink, and Caliban drinks. You cannot tell who is your friend. Open your chaps again. Open your chaps. Chaps are jaws. He says, you don't even know who your friends are. Open up that mouth again. Trinculo says, I should know that voice. Trinculo says, I almost recognize that voice. It should be, but he is drowned, and these are devils. Oh, defend me. He says, but he's drowned, and these guys are devils. Oh, God, help me. Stephano, 4 legs and 2 voices, a most delicate monster. Delicate means exquisite. He says, 4 legs and 2 voices is a very exquisite monster, a very special monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. Detract means abuse. He says one voice speaks well and talks about his friend, and the other voice is harsh and abusive. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ache. He says, I can charge even more for this. If it takes all the wine in my bottle, I will cure him. Come, gives Caliban drink again. Amen. I will pour some in thy other mouth. He says, come on, Caliban, drinks. That's good. Now I'll pour some in your other mouth. Trinculo, Stephano says, doth thy other mouth call me? Is your other mouth calling my name? Mercy, mercy. This is a devil and no monster. This is not a monster. It's a devil. I will leave him. I will leave him alone. I have no long spoon. Stephano now thinks that Caliban is not a monster, but the devil himself. According to a superstition, a long spoon could help a man to keep the devil away from himself. He says, I have no interest in getting mixed up with the devil. Trinculo, Stephano, if thou beest Stephano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Trinculo says, Stephano, if you are really Stephano, then touch me and speak to me. I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, don't be scared, don't be afraid. Thy good friend Trinculo. I am your good friend Trinculo. So this much is enough for today, children. We will continue the scene in the next video.